My journey from being a chubby Asian kid to now someone that people look up to for fitness and mindset stuff has completely changed the trajectory of my entire life. For most of my life, I grew up in the middle class with a very loving family, but there were times where it was hard because my mom actually always called me the word tam an, which basically means why are you so gluttonous? And why are you eating so fast? Why are you acting like you're a third world country person that's struggling to find food and you're starving to death, right? And she also called me mupdit, basically like a fat ass. So it wasn't a good look for me while I was like younger because I was just eating and I wasn't even fat. I was just chubby, like skinny fat. And that took a toll on me mentally. And to make it worse, the peers around me in school were always making fun of me. And they actually said that, Brian, you're not athletic enough. You're chubby, you're unathletic, you're weak, and you're just good at math. Stick to that. Stick to becoming a doctor or engineer. You'll make it there. You'll make it there. Just stay there. And that took a toll, for sure, because I wanted to play sports. I've been playing basketball for most of my life. I wasn't the best when I was younger. And I was also playing ping pong. I was definitely trying to play football for sure. That was my main thing I wanted to play in high school. And a lot of people doubted me for that. And to make matters worse, I looked the part too. So I actually wore glasses. I actually got braces. So I looked like the nerdiest Asian kid ever. And I still had chubby cheeks. So that just makes it way worse. And throughout my life, whenever we had like recess or lunch, we always played basketball. And I was always picked last because I wasn't very good. And people probably, maybe they didn't like me because I was Asian. And I was just that nerd that helped them in homework and the person that you would never have shoot the ball. And it was sucky because it made me question my appearance sometimes because dang, am I really like looking that part like, oh, I'm a full on nerd? I have nothing else to show for my life? Do I really only have the ability to do multiplication and algebra? Like, what? And it didn't help because my brother also, while I was going through this phase of late elementary and middle school, I was being called the nickname Chubby. And he kind of embodied that nickname for me. I hated it, but he basically called me that and it was annoying. And I definitely did not really want that, but it stuck with me. And it was sucky because people straight up said, Brian, don't try high school sports. You're unathletic. You will not be the starting quarterback and you'll not make it. And it was kind of true because honestly, in middle school, I could barely do 5 pull-ups. I couldn't even climb the bar or the pole for like firefighters, what they do. And I could barely do like 15 to 20 push-ups. It was sad. And I couldn't even run a 7 or 8 minute mile. And these people were just cruising by me because they were already playing NJB, AAU. They were ready to go to the high school and just dominate. Well, I never got the experience. I had to focus on academics and I never got to make a name for myself in sports. Then, when I got to be on the football team because everyone makes a team, I actually got benched. I was supposed to be starting, but then I messed up on a drill and I got benched. And it was sucky, but it happened. And it was kind of true. I let all those bullies basically validate everything that they were saying and made it a reality. It was very degrading, and I definitely got made fun of by the upperclassmen as well. That, dang, Brian, you're just weak. You're not good at football. You're not meant to start. Stay on the bench or quit. Just stick on academics. But I stuck it out. Ended up starting my second year, and I didn't do very good either. But I actually ended up quitting because I wanted to play and explore a new route of volleyball. And people started questioning, Brian, you're not ever loyal. You're not consistent. Why are you doing that? And I literally showed up for almost every event. Showed up for 6 a.m. lifts in high school. And I had to do all these other external events for football. And then now these people are questioning my character. It just made me like a complete psychopath in my mind. I was like, what do you want from me? At this point, you guys are just trolling me. And I was sick of it. So I went to volleyball. And every time we ever passed football people, they gave me the dirtiest look. And I was like, whatever. But everything changed after I started playing volleyball because I explored anime and I saw my favorite character, Hinata from Haikyuu. He basically was an underdog and he rose to the top with his team. And that's kind of what I always felt like I wanted to live. And that's what started to get me into volleyball, which is one of my favorite sports now. And this was all a great story because I started volleyball, I did well in volleyball, but then I actually had the pandemic screw everything up. The pandemic shut everything down and life was completely different. I wasn't really gymming. I wasn't really working out like this whole time. I only worked out because of sports like football. And I was just still pretty weak. I wasn't that crazy strong or anything. And then the pandemic hit and everything was just shut down. So, what could you do in this time to make it a productive time so that you don't waste away those precious years of high school sports? So, I actually discovered three people on social media. I saw Steve Harvey, David Goggins, and Eric Thomas. These three people are probably the only reason why I continued to work out as hard as I did, as well as started to make content and to be a more entrepreneurial person. This was a huge calling for me to chase after a greater purpose rather than just high school sports. And something that came up during the pandemic that really pushed my mindset was I actually had my mom have stage 4 lung cancer. And it was scary because we actually got COVID as a family right after she got diagnosed. And it was probably one of the scariest times in my life, realizing, wow, is my mom not going to see me graduate high school, college, get married, have kids, and all that? Like, that was a really scary time for me and my family. And to even fathom a world where I lose my mom before the age of 20 was scary to me. And I realized that health is something precious, that you can't waste away your years rotting, doom scrolling, eating complete junk, and just letting your life rot away. I saw this as a sign that I needed to do something about my own health because I didn't want to end up like her. And this basically propelled me forward to continue to work out, but now it's more consistent than ever. There were virtual workouts very randomly because of my sport, but that wasn't enough. I started doing core workouts, HIIT workouts, calisthenic workouts, plyometric workouts. I did it all during the pandemic because the gyms were not open and I didn't want to make an excuse for why I fell behind. So I did. I committed to it. And then at some point, my mom actually got cleared that she overcame the stage 4 lung cancer. And that was a huge blessing that we were able to achieve as a family to keep the person that united all of us together. And after the pandemic was cleared, we actually got to get back in the gym. And with this motivation to continue my route of health and wellness, with my mom being one of the one of the things on my shoulder that I had to carry, I committed to the process and I ended up getting way stronger. The strongest I've ever been. I hit 2 plates on bench, 3 plates on squat, 4 plates on deadlift. I was jumping higher than ever and I was feeling more athletic than ever before. people were questioning, wow, Brian's getting really athletic and really strong. And it felt good. It felt really good. And I went from that kid that just basically lived life with no purpose, just going to school to finish academics because my parents told me to become a doctor, engineer. I finally felt purpose through health. And it was nice, but it was short lived because I also had my own health concern. On my nail here, it's hard to see now because it's already healed, but I was actually told that I had a line here, which was a sign that I could have had melanoma, which is another form of cancer. And that would have been scary for me. At I was I'm pretty sure I was around 18 or 19, so I was in college now, and I almost had to get, cancer, and that could have meant I would have gone bald, and I could only imagine how much more trash talk I would have got from peers, and how much more that would have done to my image of myself. And I was really scared for the next 2 weeks because the biopsy was coming. And during this time, I was still working out. I still took care of my health, and I was still consistent. And then the day came after 2 weeks. When the results came back negative. And that was a huge blessing from God that I get another chance to continue life just how it has been ever since the pandemic. And that really pushed me forward. That mentally, I was able to push myself to continue to go to the gym while I was having distress under my mind, and that I was able to overcome the fear that my life would have changed in a heartbeat. And now I get to do content to share to the world how I approach fitness and health to help others like yourself. And now I maintain the lean and athletic physique I have. I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better, and I've built the systems I needed to get consistent, to go to fast food and enjoy myself. I also go to all you can eat all the time. I never fear of being called tam an or gluttonous or mupdit ever again because I've achieved the physique that I needed to make sure that I don't get the trash talk from my peers around me. And it's amazing because now the people that used to doubt me, I've seen them get into worse shape. I've also seen some of them ask me for help. And now I've developed insanely strong mental fortitude in my life where I can withstand almost any comment that comes at me, whether it's on social media or on my peers or wherever it's from. And then I also developed so much more energy and so much more confidence that I can publicly speak now, where I don't feel discomfort nearly as much as I used to. Because I used to be that chubby Asian kid that was only seen as a math nerd. And I completely redirected my career path. I used to be en route to be a physical therapist or a doctor or an engineer, but I completely went against the rail of what my Asian ancestry would want me to be, and I decided to go toward entrepreneurship. And now I'm living the life that I wanted. I may not be where I need to be yet, but I'm approaching that goal and I'm working towards it every single day. You might think it's impossible to change your body, to change your mindset in less than a year. But if I told you that the world, social media, your peers around you, your environment is influencing you and making it way harder for you to do this, would you call me crazy? I hope not, because honestly, the things you surround yourself with are making it way harder for you to find true inner peace in yourself, whether it's your body or your mind. So it's really important that you need to simplify the approach. And you could look at all my clients. I've simplified their approach. I've allowed them to continue eating their favorite foods because you can't just throw away what you love to eat. Yeah, sure, donuts are not perfect for you, but A donut once in a while is not going to kill you. And a lot of people will make those excuses that, well, I need the fancy equipment. I need my Lifetime or Equinox membership. I need a gym membership. You really don't. And you don't even need a ton of time either. A lot of people will hit me with the, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I don't have time. But at the end of the day, everyone gets 24 hours in a day. And maybe it's not the pandemic where you're stuck at home all day long and you have all the time in the world after your job or school or whatever it is. But you can make the time. If you truly, truly cared about your mindset, your physique, and your confidence. And I didn't have the genetics working for me. I've seen completely different physiques shaped out of the same exact lifts and same exact things that I did. And I'm not complaining. You make what you have. If you worry about what you cannot control, you'll never achieve what you could have been. And I would regret it if I never got to be the person I became today. I would not want to be on my deathbed wondering, wow, what could Brian Nin been? I would not want to waste my potential. And the longer you wait to take action and to actually make it a reality, the harder it becomes. Because you get more responsibilities, you get more stress, more noise from the peers and the social media and everything around you. And you never know when your health can change in an instant. My mom, myself, we could have had our whole life change forever like that. We could have passed away. We could have been restricted from going to the gym. We could have been away from our family in the hospital. So don't take your health lightly because you're missing out on all the benefits that being healthy, confident, lean, and energetic brings. You can look at yourself in the mirror, flex it at yourself, feel confident in your body, where you could even go shirtless at the gym, at the beach, at the pool, and you can impress other people around you. But most importantly, you impress yourself. You have the energy to not rely on caffeine all day long. You have the energy to actually go on with less sleep than an optimal sleep schedule. You get to be strong and functional for your family, your friends, and for yourself. You get to carry groceries much more easily. You get to be able to do the yard work that you can do more easily. You get to be stronger for your family. You can carry your kid. You can carry your wife. You can carry your husband, whatever it is, more easily. And you just get to have mental peace because now you own up to yourself that I truly take care of myself and I'm at peace. And you can all do this with 1 year of focused efforts. Maybe even less, depending where you're at right now. And that could completely change the trajectory of your entire life. You can't expect all this to change like that because it's taken many years, maybe decades for you to form the habits you have now that put you in the place you are in today. And I'm a testimony to that. It's been at least 16, 17 years when I didn't have the right things in place to allow me to live the life I want. Like, I would never think I'd be able to eat fast food or all you can eat and still have a six pack today. And the person you can become is on the other side of this journey, right? And my clients were skeptics about this too, but now they're believers. Some of them have gotten crazy jacked, and some of them have had career changes. Some of them have had better performance in their business, and now they look at their life completely differently because they took care of their health. Health is a holistic approach. It can influence everything: your family, your relationships, your business, your career, everything. And People who follow what I do don't just lose their fat or just gain their muscle. They gain all the benefits of health. And it allows you to build sustainable habits that allow you to travel the world and still be able to maintain everything you've built, right? Like, why would you not want to travel the world? Don't you want to go to Bali or Japan or Korea or Germany? So many beautiful places in the world. And you're going to be worried about how you are taking care of yourself? No. If we build the systems and habits, you'll be just fine. And everyone's going to have doubts. But my approach specifically helps anyone that's busy, that has the time to carve out just a little bit of time in their day to take care and prioritize themselves. And these are the people that really want to change their life in every aspect to be the best. And yes, the world makes it seem like getting in shape is complicated, but it's really honestly all about consistency with the right approach. And you don't have to give up anything, right? Like, you might need to minimize things because at the end of the day, it's all about moderation. You don't have to give up your favorite burger. You don't have to give up your favorite dessert. But you might, and you probably will be tested on what you're truly meant to be if you can limit yourself. Because a lot of people are gluttonous like me. Like, they were time out like me. And now it's about how you can really change yourself mentally so you can keep this for the long run. And I was an underdog, right? Like, no one was rooting for me. But that mentality helped me succeed because just like Hinata from Haikyuu, or Deku from My Hero Academia, or Eren from Attack on Titan. Now I'm just geeking out, but all these underdogs had nothing going for them. But they believed in themselves. They committed to everything they did. And now they're at the top. And you can do the exact same thing. Your life will be completely different, infinitely better if you truly take care of your health. And it all really starts with one decision. The decision that even though everyone doubts you, you can decide. So is it one day or day one?